basically like kind of like saying why Matara, like throughout the entire time, right? We never know why, like what's her Nina Kosaka, right? We never knew why Nina Kosaka left Nijisanji, right? To join V Shoujo, right? Like the actual like reasoning. But you know, you can kind of guess. You can kind of guess what it is. But apparently Matara is going to start talking about it. So we all know that we love Nijisanji here. So why not, let's not take a look at what did Matara said specifically about Nijisanji in and on itself, you know? I'm kind of curious.
So today we're going to be taking a look over at V Shoujo's Matara.
Hey Dennis,
because in a
thank you
recent
for the follower, so welcome. Hey Solo.
stream, she talked about her time in Nijisanji and addressed why she left and why she felt like she needed to get out of that company. Now, in the clips that we're going to look at, she does refer to it as Hollywood as a way to not, you know, call it Nijisanji, but us as fans and people in chat, of course, know that she was a part of Nijisanji as Nina Kosaka. Now, in the clips that we're going to look at, she pretty much states the reason for leaving is that she felt like she could not build a community inside of Nijisanji, because anyone in her fan base that openly supported her via TikTok, Twitter, whatever, was bullied by the Nijisanji fan base, because the Nijisanji fan base as a whole didn't necessarily like Nina Kosaka. They hated her. So we're gonna go.
Wait, they hated Nina? What was the reason? What was the reason of hating Nina? I don't. What? Really? So you're telling me the Nijisanji fan base like hated Nina Kosaka? That's kind of weird. Hold on to that later, Solo, after the video.
Go ahead and take a look at everything that Matara has to say here. It's extremely long, but I will break it up at points to talk about it more in depth with you guys to explain certain things. The reason I'm showing the entire clip in this video is because Matara requests that if this gets clipped, to not clip it out of context. She wants the full thing to be shown, so we're going to do that and we're going to show everything. It's very important what she is having to say. It shows just how bad the Nijisanji community as a whole can be if they don't like one of the talents. So let's go ahead.
Bro, it's like, bro, the Nijisanji community fan base or so is like almost the same as the fucking Genshin Impact fan base. And look who's her batchmate. Batchmate? I have no idea what the fuck is her batch. What even is that? I don't even know what that is.
Ahead and give this a look. Sorry to interrupt. Before we move on, GamerSubs is approaching the end of season 6 and is releasing one of the best designs they have ever dropped, in my personal opinion. Everything about the artsy aesthetic is amazing. So if you're interested in this, please click the link in the description.
Eshi-sama? I don't even know who that is, to be honest.
To check this out, and be sure to use code KYO at checkout for 10% off all of your orders. Now back to the video.
I gotta be honest with you all. I won't go through all of these on stream because they are personal. And I've already gone through all of them and cried, but I do still want to address this. I want to talk about this because it's important, but I also want to be mindful of the way I talk about this because I want people to understand what I'm saying, but I'm not very eloquent at communicating my thoughts. So let me explain. At my meet and greet, Aki came, and Aki kind of spearheaded this project with the help of Alana. And this project is basically a scrapbook of a lot of momos, and some of the letters I haven't even opened yet, but it's basically a gigantic scrapbook. So you basically spearheaded this whole scrapbook project, and I really appreciate it. This one's from Dan. There's a bunch of them. I'm not gonna read these on stream because unless you guys want me to, but I do feel that, you know, they're pretty personal to me and I enjoy the personalness of them. That being said, I still want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. And I'm getting really emotional just talking about this again. Please, I have to preface, if this is going to be taken out of context, please make sure that like it's fully, the whole clip is there, the full explanation. Please try to keep an open mind to the full explanation of what I'm about to say, okay? Just please wait. For anybody who's a new fan, who might not have followed me for a really long time, before joining V Shoujo, I had left a very big group. One of the main reasons for me leaving, I've talked about it before, blah, 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 blah. But basically, a lot of people can make their own assumptions and that's up to them. I am not here to, but a big part of it that I talked about, this was my biggest everything, was I felt like I could not grow a community within the environment that I was in. And one of the main reasons for that was I felt that as soon as people kind of were open about being my fans, I felt, and based off what I had seen, that other members, maybe they were not real fans of that community, but other members of that group, of that community, would then kind of attack people for being my fans. And the reason I'm saying this, source, I saw it on TikTok. When people would cosplay me, they would get a lot of negative comments. If people were defending me on clips of me, they would get bad comments about being fans of me, about how I'm problematic and you shouldn't be a fan of me, which again, now everyone's like, oh, wait, that, she was just being her. We just didn't understand. So that was happening and I couldn't talk about it. I was not allowed to address it because I was in a group around other people and I was just not allowed to address it.
What? Wait, you're not allowed to address it from for your own community? Damn, dude, that's fucking wild, to be honest. Holy shit.
Genuinely, I do not think addressing it would have changed anything. Genuinely, I don't think it would have changed. So I felt...
Well, of course it wouldn't change anything, but it would put awareness to the situation itself, It would definitely put awareness to the situation, but yeah.
Like, I was never going to be able to grow my own little community. All I wanted was my own little space where I could thrive, my own little plot of land that I could harvest, my own little farm that I could just go to every night and farm and have a good time with my momos. And I felt like I could never ever have that if I stayed.
Now,
Well, that's the problem, you joined Nijisanji. Are you expecting to grow or so in a Nijisanji community, man? I don't know about that one, to be honest, so if you wanted your own plot of land or so at that point, you might as well just be indie, if you wanted your own little plot of land and grow and grind, so.
When she says that, for anyone that doesn't believe her, I have a video going over this a year ago of Nijisanji fans on TikTok, on Twitter, putting together a list of reasons why they do not like Matara, or Nina Kosaka at the time. I even used quote-unquote problematic in the title because a lot of them said that she was problematic and wanted to cancel her and get her out of Nijisanji, simply because they didn't enjoy the jokes that she was making, or they thought that she was making other VTubers
Oh no, people getting offended over a joke? Oh wow. Damn, dude, that's crazy. Wow. Hmm.
inside of Nijisanji feel weird when that wasn't the case at all. It was simply her having a fun time with her friends inside of the company. Just, these Nijisanji fans clearly don't know what it meant to have a friend or to have friendly banter with your friends. That's all it was, and if you want to watch that video, I'll have it linked down below. Again, none of it was a reason for Nina or Matara to be canceled whatsoever. It was all a stupid situation, and I'm glad that Matara has moved on from it. But here's the rest of what she had to say for that segment.
Oh, she's gonna add more? Oh, hello?
Felt like I was always going to be one bad joke away from getting canceled forever. And you can tell me, hey, you're crazy. That's not true. That would have never happened. But based off of everything that was happening, I felt that even when I kind of shifted into the good graces of the general audience, I was never fully accepted and I was never fully appreciated.
You think they have a sense of humor? Man, those motherfuckers don't have any sense of humor whatsoever. Bro, they can't even tell sarcasm. They can't even tell. They honestly can't tell when two Niji livers are making jokes with each other and they think someone's getting butthurt or so. Like, come on, dude. Like, let's be honest here. There was a situation or so between Vox Akuma with whatever the fuck the blonde hair dude is from the next male wave or so, where Vox says a your mom joke or so, and then people were fucking being so uptight or so about a fucking mom joke when you can clearly tell they're both friends and they're doing banters with each other and they're just having fun, you know? So I'm just like, come on, dude. Like, I feel like that's one of the reasons why I cannot join Nijisanji. It's just that fan base is it's retarded. it's just plain and simple. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just plain and simple. That's very true, Cerberus. You're not wrong. It's high school all over again. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Nijisanji fan base, right? Especially the actual ones that we're talking about specifically, you know, those the super diehard ones, right? That act like this, right? They're just retarded. That's it. That's just it. I'm like, there's no beating it there's no beating it around the bush or anything like that, right? They're not, you know, you can't call them stupid. No, they're actually just straight up just mentally stupid. Like, actually, like, the word of retarded. Like, no joke. Like, there's just no way. Like, honestly, there's honestly literally just no freaking way. Like, overall. So Gungeon Twitter versus Niji Sisters. Who is the more idiotic group? that would be the battle of the ages, all right, you know. I don't really say retarded as much, but like, to be honest, it's just well deserved for the Niji sisters, right? Like, these super hardcore fans, you know, they all get butthurt for like the smallest things in that freaking community, right? Like, they're just straight up, honestly, they're just really, really, really straight up retarded. Like, no joke. I just cannot say it to them, you know, because they are. Like, honestly, they really are. So
I was always kind of tolerated, which is why I took the really, really, really hard decision to leave. Things were not bad, but I still left. Even though, like, no, things were bad, but I could handle them. And I also knew that by me leaving, meant that other people were going to get the hate that I was getting. Because typically, this is just from being online for so many years. If people bully one person and then that person disappears, their energy goes somewhere else. So I also understood that by me leaving, other people were then gonna start getting bullied as well. Because like, and just so we're clear, okay, I use the word bully, but just so we're clear, I mean that the fandom was gonna bully the streamers. Don't mistake this as any other thing, that the fandom was going to basically take the energy that they had with
never. Because Vishojo wants numbers. That's the reason why. Any VTuber agency wants numbers. The numbers do all the talking, and my numbers are dog shit, so my numbers do not do the talking. Dear Lord, it's high school all over again. I don't know. This is why, because I'm just like way older, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had people like try to, you know, if I had people doing this shit to me or so, right? I'm gonna be like, man, these people are stupid, you know?
me with other streamers in that space. That's basically, I use the word bully, but it is, yeah. Yeah, good clarification, just in case so people don't, but yeah, it's just the fandom was going to take the energy that they gave to me to somebody else. I really had a hard time making that.
Yeah, that's also true as well. You're not wrong. I get it, you know? She has like the very motherly instinct or so, right? Even during that time, specifically in the Nijisanji thing, right? But she shouldn't have that mindset of herself saying like, oh, you know, if I leave or so, you know, they're just gonna hate someone else or somewhere in some other, you know, VTuber in the agency, you know? I'm like, bro, haters are gonna hate at the end of the day. They probably have some moderators who moderate the chat for them specifically, right? Or they have somebody or so they'll take care of them, you know, without having any issues or anything like that. So You know, go slapping slapping with the fish. Chancla and a fish is what I'd be slapping, to be honest. You know, it's just kind of like, you know, like I get it. She loves her friends. You know, she has that very like very protective type of thing. You know, at the same time, you know, don't worry, they'll be a-okay. You know, nothing bad is gonna happen to them. You know, they probably have some moderators or so that takes care of them specifically. That probably filters out these specific people. You know, like it's fine. Like it's fine if they're gonna go get angry on somebody or so, right? If they get mad at like let's say for example Rosemi Lovelock, right? Just for an example, right? There's some person who does a cosplay for Rosemi, right? And then in the comment sections underneath that one, you know, are like roasting her and bullying her and whatnot, you know? It's just like at the end of the day, right? Yeah, that shouldn't even matter. You know, it's just a bunch of dumb people at the end of the day just being stupid, you know? You know, it's just those people at the end. Like this is why for me specifically when it comes to that, right? It just really doesn't bother me. Like honestly, I can give two fucking shits. You know, I could care less. I got my own shit that I have to worry about. I don't have to care about some fat anime loser or so. Fucking sitting behind a keyboard or so, being a keyboard warrior or so, calling someone who's doing a cosplay for their favorite Oshi just because they don't like them specifically, you know? I'm just like there's just probably some fat anime loser. That's it, you know? I'm doing that because the only reason why I say that specifically, right, is because Asmongold says it. It's just to rile everyone's Jimmy's feathers, you know? Yeah, like I said, there's always a thing that the Black Hokage has told me. If it does not apply, you let it fly. So if I'm not talking about you, then you should not be getting butthurt. But if you are getting butthurt, and it's not specifically talking about you, you need to get off the internet. That's pretty much it. So if you have an anime profile, but you're not a fat loser or so that decided to be a keyboard warrior and start fucking harassing people or bullying people over fucking someone liking a different Oshi, then yeah. For all the new folks, do not test code. She will and has roasted people out of the chat. Yes, I have. I have roasted people out of the chat. Pretty interesting though. So yeah.
In that decisions because it sucks to leave. And it sucks to leave a great group of lovely people. It sucks to leave a great everything. It sucks to leave lovely coworkers, you know.
I know she's trying to be nice or so, right? I understand she's trying to be nice specifically, but like great people? Lovely people? Ooh. Ew. Ooh. Who knows? Maybe they are lovely people behind the scenes, but it still doesn't justify their actions of what they decided to do on that fateful day, you know. I'm just saying, you know.
Oh, it really sucks. The thing that kind of kept me going was I had a pal in that place, and seeing her community, the pal, you know, Stinky Fairy, seeing what her community would.
Stinky Fairy. I see. I know who she's talking about specifically.
Their surprises for her, the memes, the gifts, the fan art. It made me feel like I would like something like this. Wouldn't it be amazing if I also had community that was allowed to openly express their like for me, right? If I had because just to be clear, I want to make sure that you all understand, I still had fans, but my fans were just not allowed to be vocal about being my fans, because the moment that my fans would kind of express that they were my fans, other fans in that fandom would shit on them
because they're retarded. That's it. Because they're retarded. That's it. Like honestly, if you're actually wasting your energy on attacking someone else's community or so just because they like fucking just because they like Nina Kosaka and they wanted to express their, you know, their feelings, how they feel towards Nina Kosaka with either a piece of fan art or a cosplay or an animation or anything of the above, you know, I'm just like, come on, dude. Hey man, but I bet you $10. I bet you my whole goddamn fucking life saving or so. If it was a fucking hentai art, man, that shit would be getting 10,000 up like votes. I'll be honest with you on Reddit. On the Nijisanji Reddit, if it's a fucking hentai drawing or so, that's a different story. Yeah, man, that shit would be going fucking skyrocket to the moon. Hey man, I'm just fucking saying, okay, all right. You know, these little shitheads are gonna fucking click upvote that shit. Her fans sound weak to me. I'm steady on business. Yeah, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The fan base, you could say, right? You could say, because like you can say either or, right? The fan bases that are attacking Nina Kosaka are just stupid people, right? They're just retarded, right? And then you can also say that the people from the Nino Kosaka community are a little bit, I guess you could say, a lot more softer or so, because they're taking it, they're taking this beating from these other people, which, number one, they shouldn't really care about them. It's just some random person on the internet deciding to talk shit, or like fucking 10 people decides to talk shit or so. Like it shouldn't really matter to you. Like for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You can have like fucking 100 people fucking talking shit about me, and I could give two fucking shits, to be honest. Because you want to know something? I'm living the best life, and I know for a fact you guys are fucking miserable because you're just sitting on the fucking computer typing a fucking sentence out of how you fucking feel because you're so emotionally damaged or so of how much you hate me. So I'm just saying, I'm kind of looking at life a little bit more better than you are. I'm just saying, so, but that's just me though.
All the time. And I just remember seeing that and thinking, I would love to have a community where people could just outwardly be like, I'm a big fan of Matara. I think Matara is awesome. I love Matara's fan art, and I love the stuff that she does. And I understand that I left a really great thing, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work out.
And the next bit, Matara goes on to explain how she used to feel selfish for leaving the group and how she ultimately got over that feeling.
Wait, feeling selfish? Really? It's so weird because these same people are probably the same who feel like they got NTR'd when their Oshis is in a relationship. Ugh. Man, dude, those people are weird, to be honest.
I think right as I debuted in VShojo, this is also where it's going to be really tough, the way I'm going to communicate. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional. When I first debuted in VShojo, obviously, I was very happy and everything was great, but I received a really big stack of letters. And for a long time when I was leaving, I felt really guilty to leave. I felt really guilty to leave because I felt like, am I being selfish to leave this group that I think needs someone like me is a big word. Needing is a big word. Am I selfish for leaving this group that really genuinely benefits from having somebody like me in there? That I add to the group, that, I felt really selfish in my desire to leave in order to create my own community. I felt that it was very selfish.
No. Not at all. You should definitely not be feeling selfish whatsoever. If you wanted to grow your own community, make your own community yourself, for them to express the way how they feel towards you. No. I don't understand where you're getting this logic specifically of how you should be feeling selfish about it, Like, I don't see, personally, I don't really see the logic specifically on that for you to be feeling selfish or so about that, It's like basically me saying, like, it's me basically leaving what Face Connect to Hololive or so, I'm like the fan base are just gonna move over to Hololive, and then the Hololive, your fan base mixed with the Hololive fan base, it's just gonna grow 10 times faster and 10 times bigger, and then you finally get that community that you wanted. I don't really see anything, to be honest. I don't really see anything selfish, because you want a community. You want a big lovely community where these people can express that they love their Oshi, which is Matara, right? I don't see anything selfish from it, to be honest. I just honestly I really don't see anything selfish on it, like, whatsoever, to be honest. I don't know where she's getting this logic from, but that's definitely not a that's not a mindset that you should be having whatsoever. But that's just my opinion, right? She can think whatever the fuck she wants to think at the end of the day, right? But she really shouldn't be thinking like that, to be honest. That's just like, it's a terrible mindset. No, you should not be thinking that, because at that point you're just gaslighting yourself. You know.
Selfish of me to ask that, even though other people had that without asking for it, and it was not selfish for like it's not selfish to want to have your own place in the world, but it felt selfish because I was used to not asking for anything. I was used to just putting up with whatever I have, and I was used to just not complaining. So it did for a while feel kind of selfish for me. Okay,
Can I hear that real quick?
it was not selfish for like it's not selfish to want to have your own place in the world, but it felt selfish because I was used to not asking for anything. I was used
It's selfish because you don't ask for anything.
to just putting up with whatever I have, and I was used to just not complaining. So it did.
Well, me personally, I don't ask for anything either, right? I don't ask for anything either, right? Because like I'm at like at a super smaller scale compared to Matara-san specifically, right? I don't ask, I don't ask specifically for like, I would assume like, the things that VTubers usually crave and want, right? I kind of work with what I have at the moment, right? Kind of work up towards a goal specifically, right? Like, do I want my own place or so in the VTuber community? I guess, it's fine. Like it would be cool at the end of the day, right? To be one of a decent size of an indie VTuber. Because that just means you just like you kind of like worked for it, it kind of wasn't really like, handed to you on a silver platter. Like I can kind of understand what she's talking about specifically, right? Because I usually never ask either. But I don't have, but there's nothing selfishness, right? There's no selfishness for you wanting to grow and grind and make a big community. Like that's not really being selfless or whatever, selfishness or whatever. It just means that's just a goal that you want, That's like one of your goals, your dreams that you want. You want to have a big, lovely community that grows and thrives and says, oh yeah, that's my Oshi right there. That's fucking Matara-san right there. And I fucking love her, Like there's nothing wrong with that, I honestly don't see, I really don't see where this selfishness should be coming from whatsoever. Like it really shouldn't, like, at all. I just can't seem to wrap my head around that specifically of why would you ever be feeling like that?
It did for a while feel kind of selfish for me. Okay, I felt selfish leaving, even though now that I've gone to therapy, I don't believe it was selfish for me to want to
Damn, everybody needs therapy these days.
have a place for my community to belong. Okay, just so we're clear, I received a lot of fan letters, and I want to be very clear. I
feel like she was gaslighting herself, to be honest, at that point, kind of like lying to herself, tricking herself that like, oh, this feels so very selfishness about me, and all this other stuff. That's a specific mindset that's definitely not a healthy mindset, Like, yeah, of course, I don't really ask for anything either, too. but I have dreams and goals that I'm trying to achieve, you know? I also want a big community. I also want a community that can say, "Yeah, I fucking love Sunako Nyaru. That's my fucking Oshi right there, you know? Shit. Who cares what other people say, you know? Like that's my bitch right there." That's my essay, you know? Shit, man. Fuck, like, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, that's just a goal, you know? That's just a dream. That's a goal, you know? It's not really much of a selfishness. I don't know. And that I feel like she's definitely like tricking herself, gaslighting herself, and lying to herself, you know, to be like, oh, this is very selfishness. I shouldn't be thinking. No, I shouldn't be not wanting this and blah blah blah. No, you should really want and strive, you know, to have what you want, to what you really want. What's your goals? What are your goals? What do you want? You know, what do you need? You know, what do you want to climb and strive for? You know, I don't know. Then I don't know. Then maybe that's just me, but
So grateful for all the fan letters that I got. Every single person who took the time out of their day to send me a fan letter, you are incredible and you are amazing. About 80% of the fan letters were, "Hi, I love your streams. I don't get to watch them much because I don't speak English, but you are so sweet. I love your model design. You are so sweet. You are so great. Thanks for your collabs with this person. Hey, I watched you do this collab one time. It was very nice. You made an impact on me. Thank you." Just so we are clear, I am so grateful for that. And I am never going to take that away. I keep those letters. I will keep those letters for as long as I can, for as long as I can still read them and remember them. But those letters made me cry because a lot of that kind of reinforced that idea of, even though these folks are fans and they're so sweet, they're not really my community. They're a part of a community that are fans of a community that I'm a part of, which is so fine and so valid, right? Like, obviously there's a big Vshoujo community that I'm a part of, and a lot of folks are fans of that. But for me, who really desperately wanted kind of my own space and my own place and my own everything, those letters just kind of reminded me. And there was still a good 20% where it really came from the diehard fans. But I did feel like 80% of the letters were from just a more general fan, which, again, just so we're clear, I want to make sure this doesn't get taken out of context as like, I don't appreciate casual fan. That's not it at all. This book and this project, where every single person in this book is people that I recognize, that people that I know watch the stream nonstop, that I recognize your Momosonos, I see you in the Discord. It just really kind of reminds me that I made the right decision, and I am so happy that I wasn't selfish. Even though I felt like it in the moment, it was not selfish of me to want to build a community that cares for me and maybe prioritizes me. And I wasn't selfish for that. And even though
there you go. There you go. Took about, you know, took a hot minute, you know, through therapy and stuff like that to find out that, you know, that like, hey, you know, this is not selfishness whatsoever. Of course it's not. It's a goal. It's a dream. It's something you strive for, you know? Yeah, that's just something that you just kind of like just literally strive for at the end of the day. So that's, I don't know. It's a pretty, she was definitely like lying to herself, gaslighting herself, kind of like just say no, I shouldn't be wanting this. No, you know.
it's really
It's
nice
a terrible
to be
mindset to
generally
have.
liked in a big fandom, or I guess in my case, generally tolerated in a big fandom, it's not the same. You know, having a small community that really, oh my god, having a small community that really cares for you and really loves you versus being tolerated in a large group is not at all the same. It is not at all the same. And I really want to use the word tolerated. Genuinely, I really want to use the word tolerated, because I do feel like to a broad portion of the audience, it was just until the next time I make a joke that they don't like, and suddenly it's back to the pit.
Here in this next clip, she wants to ensure that people understand that she's not shaming anyone for being a part of the core Nijisanji audience.
And just to be clear, if you were a fan of the core audience, I don't shame you for not being able to be more caring. I don't think you were in a space where you could have been more caring. I don't think you were in a place where you were allowed to show that you were a fan of me louder because you were going to get beaten down by the other members of the fan. I do still know that you loved me, and I do still know that you cared, and I do know that you did, but I just don't think that you were in a space that was like capable of letting you exist.
In this final clip, she does state after this she will likely never talk about Nijisanji again because she said everything she needs to at this point.
I think after the 1 year, I made a decision that I will no longer talk about Hollywood. I still feel I'm one of the members that, I don't judge anybody who wants to talk about Hollywood. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think obviously I'm not trying to erase Hollywood as my resume. I am very grateful for the opportunities. I'm very grateful for the coworkers. But as the 1 year comes, I would like to no longer speak about it. Because I feel like now I've said everything I've had to say. I feel like with this right here, there is nothing more I have to say. I left because I felt tolerated by a large fandom. I felt that I was always one raunchy joke away from getting canceled, and I felt really.
Wait, that was it? She was just making raunchy jokes? Bruh. Oh my god, man. Bro, it ain't that... It's not that serious, to be honest, for you to try to cancel somebody. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Thank god I did not join Nijisanji or was accepted in Nijisanji. Thank fucking god, dude. Man, I would think they would come out with their fucking pitchforks and shit, because sometimes I could do some fucking... Sometimes I can do some of those jokes as well, so... I'm just saying, sometimes I'll throw those left curbs here and there.
Really bad about leaving for a really long time. And this community right here and all this everything and meeting you and seeing you just kind of reminds me that I need to prioritize me. And when I'm able to prioritize me, I will then be a better content creator, a better coworker, right? To the Bishoujo girls. When I'm happy, I'm a better coworker. I'm a better friend. I'm a better businesswoman. I'm a better streamer. I'm a better, alien. So I really feel like this helped me wrap kind of the end of everything. I will most likely not talk about Hollywood again. I no longer feel that I was selfish for leaving. And I feel that...
Thank God. Well, yeah, thank God I didn't get accepted to Niji, but at the same time, I was not taking the application pretty serious. Come on, dude. I put a fucking your mom joke in the goddamn fucking application, for God's sakes. I've said this before or so, but I put literally a mom joke or so in the goddamn fucking Nijisanji's application, because I did not take that shit very serious, to be honest.
Everybody deserves to build a community that loves them for them and not just tolerates them as being part of a bigger group.
And so that is everything that Matara had to say about this situation. I think it's extremely important to listen to the full thing and just to see how bad the community can be at times. I'm glad Matara is happy where she's at in VShojo. Huge W to VShojo for giving these talents a home and a place that's, not awful like Nijisanji. And so that's all from me, guys. Please let me...
That's interesting. That's very interesting. For that situation in and on itself, about about her leaving and everything, I thought it was because I thought she would have left or so, just because of the kind of like the work environment was just not that great or so behind the scenes, because that's what's literally what kind of popped up or so, specifically about it. So that's what I thought. I thought it was gonna talk about like the work environment, how it was. But no, it's just basically, she was wanting to make her own, lovely community, so, and how like she really didn't like how her, I guess you could say, her community was being silenced by the other communities, just because they don't like her because she makes fucking raunchy ass fucking jokes, which is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, seriously, Jesus. But anyways, that was pretty interesting to take a look at, to listen to, you know, what Matara has to say. At the end of the day, right, I still have to say it, you know, they're just fat losers, you know, in the Niji community or so. You know, they're just some fat losers there with anime profile pictures, thinking that they're so fucking cool, being keyboard warriors. You know, calling someone out or so, or dissing someone just because they like to cosplay their favorite Oshi. You know, it's just kind of like crazy in my personal opinion. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They honestly have like no life. They literally have zero fucking life at the end of the day. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah. I'm gonna go harass another VTuber community. And peace.